In today's video, we're going to be comparing the Menacer, one of the new weaponized vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, added in the After Hours update. And we're going to be comparing it to two relatively similar vehicles, the Barrage, added in the Doomsday Heist, and the Heavy Insurgent Pickup, added in the Heist update. Now, the reason I've chosen these three vehicles is because of their similar characteristics. They all have guns on top. They're all armored in some way, shape, and form. And that's the reason the Nightshark isn't being included in this list today. Even though its shape really similar to the Nightshark doesn't have that gun on the top. So it's kind of tough to compare in that aspect. Yes, the Nightshark has little pea shooters on the front, but that's about it. So let's start with our barrier to entry here. And that, of course, is going to be price. Now, let's start with the Menacer. The Menacer does not have a trade price, like a lot of the weaponized vehicles on this update. It's simply $1.775 million, which is not bad. It's available on the Warstock cash and carry site. Now, what about the Barrage? The Barrage does have a trade price and a immediate buy it now price. The immediate buy it now price is $2,121,000, whereas the trade price is $1,595,000. So the buy it now price is more expensive than the Menacer, but with the trade price, it's a little bit less expensive. Something interesting to note. Then you've got the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom, which also has a buy it now and a trade price. So the buy it now price is $1.795 million, and the trade price is $1,350,000. So the buy it now price is just slightly more expensive than the Menacer. The trade price is about $400,000 cheaper. So you can see that their prices are relatively close to being the same. So if we take into account trade prices, the Insurgent Pickup is going to be the cheapest. If we take into account without the trade prices, just simply being able to buy it now, the Menacer actually becomes the cheapest, which is interesting to note. So you're going to have to rely on whether you consider trade price to be the one you look at or the buy it now price. Either way, not terribly expensive for any of the options today. Now let's talk about capacity. This is important in armored and weaponized vehicles like this. For the new Menacer, it has a capacity of 5, a driver, 3 passengers, and a gunner. The Barrage has a capacity of 4, a driver, passenger, and a front and rear gunner. And the Insurgent Pickup by far wins the whole thing with a capacity of 9, a driver, a gunner, a front passenger, 2 rear passengers, 2 truck bed passengers, and 2 passengers hanging on the side. So by far, if you're looking to haul the most amount of people here, the Insurgent Pickup Custom is going to be the best. The Barrage is going to be the worst, and the Menacer kind of in the middle with 1 extra. Now let's do our speed comparison here. And the results for this were actually shocking. I could not believe the results that we actually got for this. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing. We're going to be all lining up in a row. All of these vehicles have been fully upgraded and customized, by the way. So they have max armor, max transmission, turbo. Everything you can do to upgrade these vehicles, we've done to them. So the results here, very, very shocking and not in a good way for the Menacer. The Menacer is incredibly slow. So out of the 3 vehicles we're looking at today, it is the slowest. So you've got the Insurgent Pickup Custom, which jumps out to a really fast start. And then you've got the Barrage, which seems to have the highest top speed. The Menacer is simply the worst of both worlds. And we even got out and made sure that this thing was fully upgraded because we couldn't believe how slow this thing was. I mean, it is really, really chunky and really, really slow. And that's what we noticed with the Menacer. Now, we did run a second test just to confirm our theory, and we got the exact same results. Insurgent Pickup Custom seems to have the best acceleration of the bunch, but the Barrage has the best top speed of the bunch, with the Menacer just having the worst overall. Now, let's talk about armor resistance of these vehicles. How many explosives can it survive? Let's start with the Menacer. And the Menacer was actually able to survive a surprising amount of missiles. It was able to last with 7 RPGs being fine. And on the 8th one, it was actually destroyed. So I was kind of impressed, but I also expected it a little bit. With that slow of speed, I definitely wanted this thing to be a little bit more beefier and bulkier in terms of being able to absorb explosives. So the fact that it takes 8 RPGs in order to blow this thing up is pretty impressive. Now, what about the Insurgent Pickup Custom? How many can it take? But what's even crazier is the Insurgent Pickup Custom can survive 1 more rocket than the Menacer. it actually takes 9 rockets to blow up. So it can survive 8 with the 9th one finally blowing it up. So it actually is more armored and it's faster than the Menacer. Very interesting stuff right there. And now let's turn our attention to the Barrage, which, as sort of expected, because this is the fastest option today, the Barrage was only able to survive 4 missiles, with the 5th one ultimately exploding it. So it has the worst armor out of the bunch. The Menacer has a sort of middle of the pack armor, and the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom has the best. Now, all 3 of these vehicles do not have bulletproof windows. This is something we tested as well. In fact, the Barrage doesn't even have windows. You can just shoot straight through it. And same with the Menacer. You can shoot straight through that. So they are still susceptible to players getting shot out. I will say, though, with the Menacer and the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom, the windows are very tiny. Like, you have to have a pinpoint accurate shot in order to be able to hit someone on the inside, whereas the Barrage is way more limited in that regard. Like the fact that the windows are completely out, it's super easy to get shot out of. Now let's talk about weaponry. So the weaponry is pretty much the same on all 3 of these vehicles. You start with a 50 cal machine gun, and you can actually upgrade your way to a minigun. This is the same for all 3 vehicles. They function and operate the exact same way. Really, the only difference here is with the Barrage, you're getting twice the firepower. You have a gun that faces the front, and you have a gun that faces the back. So even though it does require an extra person, theoretically, you can get way more firepower out of the Barrage than the other 2 vehicles, the Insurgent Pickup and also the Menacer. And the Menacer has the exact same 50 cal machine gun and minigun that has been on weaponized vehicles really since the beginning of Grand Theft Auto Online. So there's nothing really all that special about it. It's just a normal weaponized option that you can have on the top for a player to own. Now, as far as customization goes on all 3 of these vehicles, they're really about the same. It's kind of hard to separate all the little details. All 3 of these vehicles get basic upgrades like armor, transmission, and stuff like that. In the case of the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom and the Menacer, you can actually get different liveries on there. I know you can't on the Barrage. You can add various little things like armor upgrades, obviously changing out the weapons and whatnot. But there's not one vehicle that stands out as having an extreme amount of customization. Probably the big difference out of them all is the Insurgent Pickup is on its own a Pegasus vehicle, but the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom, which is what most people use nowadays, is done by taking the Insurgent to the Mobile Operations Center. So I'm going to assume that everyone has an MOC and can turn it into an Insurgent Pick-Up Custom. That way it can be stored in a garage and can be called in via the mechanic or vehicle interaction menu. If that's the case, all 3 of these vehicles are spawned in the same way and customized the same way. So all of those are sort of on a level playing field as well. So let me give you guys my final verdict on this car. What do I think about it? I'm actually not sold all that much. I mean, it's more expensive than the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom if you apply the trade price by a good bit. It also has a really bad capacity when you compare it to the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom. 9 versus 5. I mean, that's a difference of 4 people, so that's pretty crazy. You could say the Barrage has worse capacity, but it makes up for it with the grenade launcher you can apply on there, with all the customization you can do, and the fact that it is by far the fastest of the vehicles we're looking at today. The Menacer doesn't really have anything it's all that great at. Like, it's pretty slow, has an average amount of capacity, doesn't do anything particularly awesome in terms of weapons. And on top of that, and this is just my subjective opinion, this thing looks terrible. It looks like a crunched ice cube. I don't know why. It just has the weirdest look to it. And to me, I don't think it looks all that great. I don't think it performs all that great. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. When this vehicle comes out, I think this is one that I might end up skipping and just going with the Insurgent Pick-Up Custom. Heck, I might even stay with the Nightshark, a vehicle we didn't even test in today's video because it doesn't have that gun on the top to really compare it to. But, the Nightshark is great in so many other ways that, not having a gun might honestly still be better than this vehicle right here, the Menacer. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this vehicle. I'm definitely interested to hear your opinions. I think this is a vehicle you either love or hate. There's no in between. So let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.